Hello, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where in the world you are. My name is Matt, and I am one of the directors and co-founders at CyberDuck. Today, we're going to be chatting about accessibility, the principles behind it, and how to apply that in practice.
Consider accessibility from the start. We often get people come along and say, oh, we've made this lovely app, lovely website. There we are, test it for accessibility. And you think, no, it's going to be terrible. So, well, sorry, not always terrible, but often is. It's including accessibility from the beginning, from the design, every stage you need to think about it. It needs to become second nature. So it's not an afterthought at the end that you think, oh, wait a minute, let's do that.
I often see sometimes people just, especially in the States, looking at it from a compliance, wanting so much to check the box, when the reality is, why don't you really think about why we're doing this? We are doing this certainly to fully include people with disabilities, but accessibility benefits everyone when it's done right. So please remember why we're doing this. And by the way, how would you like to be left out of technology? I don't want to be left out. So can we remember why we're doing it?
There's very low probability of getting sued anywhere outside the US. I think the one exception to that is the public sector in the UK, because we now have the public sector website accessibility regulations that came in 2018. And that has transformed things. I mean, as long ago as 2003, the UK government published a thick book on how the government was going to address sort of everything. And in it, it said all government websites must be accessible. And absolutely nothing happened, nothing changed for 15 years, despite having an e-government czar and this book and all these announcements. Nothing changed. Then when the law was passed 3 years ago, we went from almost no public sector accessibility work for our first sort of 16 years. And in the last 3 years, we've worked for over 20 public sector organizations. And it's the threat of the random testing by GDS that is driving that.
I think that the proper use of the descriptions, captions, even if it's an audio description to something that is written. So there are other ways to present any piece of content. And actually, I'm looking here at the next question as well that refers to tables and how to deal with some of the user needs are contradictory. And I think the answer for those two is basically the same. There are different ways to present the same content. And if you feel that there is the need to use different ways to present that same content, then you just should go ahead and do that and give the people the option to consume that content in the best way that works for them.
This is where personalization comes in. We need to be thinking about more than just one website for everyone. There is no website that will meet everyone's needs. We need to be able to encourage more opportunities for personalization. Low vision users' needs are very different from the needs of people who are dyslexic. So let's try and find ways to give people the option to present the content in a way that is most usable for them.
I'm sure you will join me in the chat to say thank you, especially to our panelists as well, for their time and insights today. I think they've all been brilliant and very clear and cogent with us. And, thank you to all of you for your time in joining us.